5 times in the last 6 years, the Chicago Bulls with a wall the Knicks could not break through. A younger Jordan sank him at the line in '89. His free throws sent New York home after 6. In '92, Patrick fought courageously. But with 42 in Game 7, Michael played outrageously. Each time New York appeared ready to rise to the challenge, they were again denied.
Ewing for Smith. Stop again.
2 years later, New York beat a team called the Bulls, and then he returned. Last season witnessed the recrowning of the king of basketball's hard courts. And once again, Michael Jordan sent the Knicks home in the playoffs. The wall remains in Chicago. The Knicks have yet to break through. It is a miserable mid-January night in the Windy City. We could use a little wind to blow some of this fog and rain out of here. Yes, rain, not snow, but things have a little clearer focus inside the United Center, where tonight, for the 458th consecutive game, the Bulls have sold out. These fans are here tonight to welcome the New York Knicks. Good evening, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, and welcome to Chicago as we near the midway point of the season. 82 games in the regular season. Some are treated by fans and players alike as no more than dates on a calendar. But there are other encounters that dictate the need of a felt marker underneath and a spotlight to shine on them, and tonight is one of those nights. The New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls meet for the first of their 4 meetings this season. I'm joined again by Doc Rivers, who spent 2.5 seasons as a member of the Knicks chasing this Chicago team. You know, Doc, how formidable they can be. And New York is a different team, though, this time around.
The New York Knicks have been built to beat the Chicago Bulls and win a world championship. The problem the Knicks have had so far this year is against elite teams, they haven't fared that well, at least in the first meeting. And then when they play them again, Miami or Utah, they come back and win. And that's what the Knicks want to do tonight. They want to win the first time. The first adjustment they're going to make tonight, they're going to try Chris Childs on Michael Jordan.
Do you like that move?
I like the move because it's going to put some pressure on Michael, and they want to make him work as much as possible tonight.
Well, the Bulls come in just slightly wounded. They still have the best record in the league. They lost in Houston on Sunday. They play tonight for the 5th time without Ron Harper and the 3rd time without Dennis Rodman.
And everyone is focusing on Dennis Rodman. And you miss his rebounds, and you miss all the little things that he does. I think Michael Jordan misses Ron Harper a lot more. Michael Jordan relies on Ron Harper to play defense. He relies on him to do all the little things that Michael now has to do himself. The Knicks understand this, and the Knicks want to make Michael Jordan work. They believe, and I do too, that you make Michael Jordan work now, whereas 10 years ago he could do it, it'll put a little bit more pressure on him. They want him to carry the load for 3.5 quarters, and in the last 6 minutes of the game, their motto will be, someone else will have to beat us.
Michael Jordan needs a little help tonight, too. Tony Kukoc and Scottie Pippen were only 3 of 24 from the field on Sunday. And there's one lineup change that Phil Jackson has just made. Kukoc goes back to the bench. He'll be the 6th man tonight. And Randy Brown will get his first start of the season at the point. So the Bulls know in facing the Knicks, they've got to step it up if they want to feast on New York.
Bulls versus the Knicks on TNT!
If you travel about 2 miles out on Madison west of the Loop in Chicago, you'll come to the United Center, now in its 3rd year of operation, as the home stadium of the Chicago Bulls. Let's check the lineups for tonight's first meeting between the Knicks and the Bulls. Allen Houston and Chris Childs in the backcourt. Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, and Charles Oakley complete the starting 5. And for the Chicago Bulls, Randy Brown gets his first start of the season tonight, the Chicago native, as Tony Kukoc again becomes the 6th man. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley back after a 7-week injury miss, and Jason Caffey. We have been joined again tonight by Dick Versace. Dick?
You know, there's some bad blood between Jeff Van Gundy of the Knicks and Phil Jackson of the Chicago Bulls. This dates all the way back to the Pat Riley days.
Now, I think he's an outstanding coach, a brilliant coach. I think his ability to get that team to play at a high level every night over a long period of time, year after year after year, is a true testament to his greatness in coaching. The only thing I've always resented ever since I've been an assistant is his knocks at Pat Riley, his knocks at our former Knicks teams. We may not have beaten them. He may not have liked our style of play, but to call it dirty, to be derogatory to our players, I think was uncalled for, and I think disrespected our team and the amount of effort and work our coaching staff and team put into the game.
I talked to Phil Jackson about this situation, and he said, hey, we're going to have an interesting NBA basketball game. One team is going to pass and cut and execute and move the ball, and the other team is going to push and grab and hold. Back to the table.
Okay, Dick, I don't guess we need to ask which is which.
No, Phil Jackson has started early, and that's what he does. And I think now, I don't think he has a dislike for anyone, and I don't think Jeff dislikes Phil. I think Phil does it as strategy. He thinks it gets under their skin, and it does. It works, and if it works, you should do it.
Patrick Ewing and the Knicks have not won in Chicago their last 10 visits here, including the playoffs. The last time they were here was in May last season. They lost in Game 5 to go out in the second round of the playoffs. Look at this with Jordan in the lineup. 13 consecutive Bulls home wins. The last time was in the old Chicago Stadium that the Knicks won in May 5th of '92. That's with Michael in the lineup. And just to complete the whole thought, the last time New York won here in Chicago was the last game in regular season played in the old Chicago Stadium just across the street on Madison. Ewing and Longley tip it off. Chris Childs has it for the New York Knicks.
And it's really important for the Knicks to get off to a great start here. This is an important game for them. The other games are big, but this is the team they have to win, have to beat, and they understand that.
Oakley misses the first shot, but Ewing taps it back out to Chris Childs. Randy Brown starts in place of Tony Kukoc tonight. Baseline jumper, not there, but Oakley with the putback and misses his second basket, but gets the follow and the third and the first basket of the night.
And you look at the Knicks, they're 8th in the league in rebounding, but they're not doing so well on the offensive boards. And so that is a great sign to start this game out, that they got 2 quick offensive boards and baskets.
Randy Brown, Jason Caffey, who starts for Rodman. Here's Michael Jordan. Childs picks him up. Chris Childs, Michael Jordan. Ball is tipped, controlled at the buzzer. Shot clock violation.
That's why Chris Childs is on Michael Jordan. Chris Childs is on Michael Jordan because he has quickness. They understand that Michael's going to post, but when he's away from the bucket, Chris Childs can be the man because he does have quickness.
Now Randy Brown picks up Chris Childs again. Do you like this move, Doc, that Phil Jackson made with Randy Brown in the lineup?
Yeah, I do, because I think what Phil Jackson is trying to do is get Chris Childs back on Randy Brown and make Allen Houston guard Michael Jordan.
Patrick Ewing drives the lane, gets his first bucket of the night.
And Patrick's the X factor for the Bulls. That's the one guy that the Bulls don't have a match for, is Patrick Ewing. If he has a huge game, the Knicks are in great shape.
Jordan misses his second shot. Longley gets the offensive board, puts it in the hand of Randy Brown. Oakley and Caffey battle for it. It'll be Chicago ball.
So far, this game is going exactly the way the Knicks won. And I know it's early, but they've gotten the offensive board, and Patrick Ewing has scored, and Michael Jordan has taken 2 shots. They want him to take as many shots as possible tonight.
Chicago, in losing to Houston on Sunday, shot less than 40%. Jordan gets his first of the night. Michael, 8 of 26 in that losing effort, but it was a game that saw Chicago on top with 6 minutes remaining down in Houston. Here's Oakley again. Nope. Tip out of bounds. It'll be Chicago ball.
And another thing we didn't touch on is why they're starting Randy Brown is because the Knicks have not handled pressure very well. They understand if they can pressure the Knicks, they're going to have a tough time getting the ball into Patrick Ewing, giving him less time to score.
Jason Caffey, number 35. There's the first turnover of the night. Here comes Childs at the other end. Jordan's back defensively. Terrific move by Chris Childs, up and under the basket. Will count.
Yeah, that was a really special move. Look at this right here. What Chris Childs does, he puts his body right into Michael Jordan, basically taking away his athletic ability to block the shot.
Now Jordan to the post up. This is where Van Gundy fears him most. And he'll go to the free throw line. New York with turnover problems, 19 per game. They lead the league. When we saw them a week ago against Houston in a 20-point losing effort, they turned it over 13 times in the first half.
Yeah, but Jeff Van Gundy said something funny. He said, if we do turn the ball over, when we turn over, let's hope we throw the ball in the stands. That way they can't score on our turnovers. We can live with that.
In their win yesterday at home, an afternoon game at the Garden against Washington, they only turned it over 13 times. Now Jordan again.
Well, it's part of just being new. They're going to turn the ball over some more. They want to hope by playoffs they're not turning it over as much because Chicago will seize on that.
6-4, Knicks lead. Larry Johnson gets the return pass, and Ewing slams it down with authority.
You know, one of the things Jeff Van Gundy said also earlier before this game tonight is he wants to attack the Bulls. He didn't want to use much of the clock. He wants to get into their offense and score quickly, not to allow the Bulls to set their defense.
Stan Javi has a problem with the clock. Javi, Jim Clark, and Tony Brothers, Steve Javi, I beg your pardon, are officials tonight. And whatever the problem, it is not. There it is. 9:20 instead of 9:22.
Yeah,
that was alert.
Yes. One thing we failed to mention was John Starks being injured tonight, and we should definitely bring that up because he, like Dennis Rodman, is the emotional leader of the Knicks, and they're going to miss him tonight. They're going to miss him anytime he's not playing.
John Starks injured against Phoenix in a collision with Kevin Johnson at the end of a road trip. He expects to be back Sunday at home against Miami. Here's Jordan posting up again.
That's the downfall of Chris Childs guarding Michael Jordan. But they don't mind if Michael Jordan scores points. They're not going to worry about that. They don't mind in the post especially. Look at this. Michael Jordan is just bigger. He's stronger. He can jump higher. And on the post, Chris Childs needs help. But the Bulls don't like giving help. So he's probably going to be down there by himself most of the night.
I'm assuming we had another clock malfunction of some sort. And so they'll reset it to 9:07, and Jimmy Clark will inbounds it, give it to Larry Johnson the inbound. Now Childs picked up by Randy Brown. 9 minutes to go, opening quarter, an 8-6 New York lead. From the corner, Allen Houston.
Yeah, that's a nice sign. The Knicks right now have all the signs going for them. They have to hope this continues.
New York 5 of its last 6. Here's Jordan in the post again. This time Longley gets the offensive board into the hands of Pippen. Scottie Pippen had an absolutely miserable night. Larry Johnson at the other end pumped one too many times, but gets it up.
Yeah, he was fortunate. He bobbled the ball, and that's why he didn't go up right away. And then he saw Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen makes a lot of people pump one or two more times than they should.
Scottie Pippen 2 of 14 from the field against Houston the other night, but he gets the 3 to end that drought. And that shaves the lead back to 3. Brown picks up Childs. The entry pass to Ewing. Longley over his back. Allen Houston with the runner in the lane. In and out. Longley with a rebound. Now Pippen. Jordan off the dribble. Foul called underneath on the drive on Charles Oakley.
One of the things the Knicks want to do in this game is get out on the break and score easy. Larry Johnson releases. Oakley, one of the better long court passers in this league, finds him. The Knicks need easy buckets, and that's their plan tonight.
Larry Johnson missed 5 games until the recent road trip because of a hamstring. Here's Jordan back at the line again.
I guess I should have said the much maligned Larry Johnson. His point production is way down from his career averages, but Larry Johnson, the Knicks are very happy with him. They say he's playing great defense. He's become one of their better defensive players.
Well, it is alarming, though, Doc. If you look at his statistics in almost every category, they are reduced from his years in Charlotte.
Yeah, the thing I was surprised to see that was down was his assists. That's the one thing it seems like he's doing more this year, and yet they're down also.
Pressure applied by the Bulls. Now Brown picks up Childs as he comes across the midcourt line. Van Gundy said they want to shoot before the shot clock has 8 seconds left on it. That's 8 right now. Ewing from the baseline gets another one.
He's the X factor. Patrick Ewing is the X factor. That's the one area that the Bulls don't match very well with the Knicks.
Ewing 3 of 3 from the field. Another Chicago turnover now. We mentioned that Oakley and Brown. Technical foul on Randy Brown. Well, he kind of asked for it.
Yeah, he did. I thought Oak was going to get it, and the little guy got it. Yeah, I hope that was an intentional foul, Vern.
Then after the foul, he flicked the ball out of his hands, and that's when the technical came. Allen Houston with the free throw, and the lead is back to 4.
Watch Patrick Ewing here. He's bigger. He has great moves down on the post, and the Bulls do not want to double team either, but they will far more than the Knicks. And if Patrick Ewing keeps rolling like he is, you'll see some double teams.
Very positive sign. No turnovers for New York. Here's Johnson. Gets the finger roll up and in. And the lead is back to 6 at 17-11. Chicago 19-1 at home this year. Best home record of the league. Their only loss to Miami back in December. Jordan off the front iron. Brown saves it, gets it back to Pippen, who shoots for 3. I don't know that he planned it that way.
I think he did.
Do you?
I think he caught it. Yeah, I do. I don't say that very often. I think he wanted to make that shot. We'll know later.
That's for sure. Second three-pointer now for Scottie Pippen. And the first timeout of the first quarter. We played with 6 minutes and 28 seconds left in number 1, 17-14.
Watch Scottie Pippen right here on this shot. He understands when you get an offensive rebound to just spot up and look for your shot again, and that's exactly what Scottie Pippen did. He sees the help. Larry Johnson leaks out, and he banks for a 3, and I think he meant to do that, Vern. I think Scottie Pippen would be a great guy to have on your team if you were playing horse.
Or billiards. Well, Scottie Pippen 2 of 14 and Kukoc 1 of 10 in the loss to Houston on Sunday. But Pippen off to a much better start.
Yeah,
here.
you know who knows that more than them is the Knicks guys, because they know, and as a player, you hate when a guy has a bad game and then you have to play him the next night. You know Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan and Tony Kukoc will come at you tonight.
Larry Johnson in and out. Rebound in the hands of Randy Brown. And Michael Jordan has it in his hands, now picked up by Chris Childs. Kukoc off the bench, replacing Jason Caffey. And here's Pippen. Ewing into the hands of Childs. Nice pass down on the baseline, and the offensive foul called on Larry Johnson.
Tell you what, Van Gundy's not very happy with that call. And you can see it coming. You can see the technical coming.
Called by Tony Brothers. And Jordan will shoot the technical.
Yeah, and the Knicks are trying to score quickly right here. I tell you what, Van Gundy has a gripe. He did. He leveled them, but Scottie Pippen was moving. They have a right to be upset on that call right there. And you know, when Michael Jordan misses, when you're a little kid, you say, cheaters prove. That's what they're saying right now.
85% free throw shooter for the season, and Jordan misses the technical. So Pippen and Brown, Longley, Kukoc, and Jordan. Little isolation play now. Longley comes out on the pick and roll, gets it back in the hands of Jordan. 8 on the shot clock. And Jordan gets the misfire, in and out again. Offensive board to Pippen.
Yeah, that's exactly what Van Gundy does not want to happen, especially with Dennis Rodman out. They don't need Chicago getting offensive boards if they have any shot to win this game.
From the corner, Childs. Rebound, Kukoc, and a chance for Chicago to grab the lead. for the first time in the ball game. Johnson guards Pippen. Now the switch. Now they switch back. Longley over Ewing. Rebound Oakley. That's 5 rebounds already for Charles Oakley. Ewing with a double team from Randy Brown. Kind of half-hearted double team. Off the dribble. Got another one.
One leg floater away from the basket, and you're 7 feet tall. I'm sure the Bulls are saying, if you make it, you can take that one all day.
19-16. Jordan gets it in the hands of Scottie Pippen. 4:35 to go, first quarter of play. Way outside. Rebound Ewing. Allen Houston in the corner to Oakley. They are trying to be aggressive with the shots.
They are, and I like this team that way because they have a lot of offensive talent on this Knicks team, and they haven't figured out just yet how to get it out of each other.
Back to Randy Brown. Pippen from baseline. Another three-pointer. Nope, no basket. 3-second violation. (1916) at the 4:05 mark. New York has led throughout since getting the opening bucket by Oakley. Largest lead has been 6. It was cut to 1 a moment ago. Nice pick by Oakley. Wow. Did he put a body on it? And then gets the return pass underneath.
Yeah, that was a great pick.
Oh.
And if I'm Michael Jordan, I'm yelling at Tony Kukoc because he didn't call it out, and Michael never saw it.
Oh, that had to rattle the cobwebs. There's another pick from Jordan on Houston. Randy Brown on the switch, picked up by Childs. Houston continues to guard Jordan. That's kind of what Phil Jackson would like.
Yeah, that's exactly what he would like. He wants him to guard Jordan, Allen Houston we're talking about, so he can work and not be able to shoot those threes with wrestling on D.
Pippen, gorgeous.
The biggest change I've seen in this game so far is Scottie Pippen being aggressive. He's a guy that usually lets the game come to him. Tonight, you can see he's making a concerted effort.
Watch the pick from Oakley.
And watch this. Michael Jordan never knew it was coming. That's a whiplash pick. If I'm Michael, I'll tell Tony about it.
21-19. Knicks by 2. Johnson guarded by Pippen. Here's Oakley in the post. Kukoc has him. Knocks it away. Scottie Pippen goes by Larry Johnson. Blew by Larry Johnson.
He went by him twice. He went by him on a crossover, and then he blew by him to the basket. That's a great move.
We are tied at 21. A Knick turnover leads to the transition basket. Pippen has scored the last 10 points.
We need to improve to get to their level. They're not going to slide back to us. The thing I have the most respect for about Chicago is they play well and they play consistently game in and game out. And I think for ourselves, on our best nights, we've been great. But we've had far too many bad nights. And it's the consistency in the areas of ball handling, in the areas of shooting, just fundamental play that we need to improve on if we're to get to their level.
Oh, one of the tactics tonight, Doc, has been to be aggressive offensively and take quick shots.
Yeah, and they have. If you look at these numbers right here, 11 out of their 18 possessions have been quick shots. I think that's why Jeff Van Gundy called a timeout, because the last 2 times down, they were into the clock, down in the post, and Oakley turns the ball over right here. This is not the type of basketball the Knicks want tonight. They don't want to pound it in unless it's to Patrick Ewing.
Oakley will inbound with Houston. John Wallace has joined the lineup now for New York. Patrick Ewing and Chris Childs on the floor. So Oakley gets a rest after the turnover. Childs finds Ewing. Longley guards him. Shot clock at 5. My goodness. And Ewing goes into the stands.
Yeah, Ewing wants a foul, but I'm sure Steve Javie is saying, you fade away that far, a little bump will make you go back farther, and we're not going to give it to you. That would have been a bailout foul.
Chance for the Chicago Bulls to get their first lead of the night now. Ewing knocks it right back into the hands of Mr. Jordan.
Good defense, bad luck.
A 7-0 Chicago run, and the Bulls are up by 2. Underneath, another turnover. That's 3 turnovers for New York in their last 5 possessions. Here's Jordan. Jordan and Pippen have scored all of the Chicago points.
I would say Jeff Van Gundy would not be upset over that. What he is upset is the way they've scored the last 8 points, and that's off their turnovers.
Allen Houston, coach Michael Jordan. They get it back to Oakley. Wallace in the low post. Houston goes by him, and the follow shot from Oakley is good.
Charles Oakley, elevate. I didn't know that those 2 words went together, but they do in this game.
6 rebounds, 3 of them offensive now, and here's a turnover from Randy Brown. Childs all the way, dishes at the last minute, offensive foul.
You talk about bad breaks. Patrick Ewing deflects the ball. It goes back to that man wide open to the basket. You're not going to stop him.
Right in his hands. And as you looked at the replay, Randy Brown heads to the bench to get a rest. The bench, rather. And Steve Kerr takes his place. And Charlie Ward is going to give Chris Childs a rest for the New York Knicks.
Yeah, and Van Gundy's not real happy with that last play. You got to give it to your shooters earlier, and that's what he's trying to get Chris Childs to do a little bit more. He should have gave that ball up to Allen Houston a little bit earlier in that last play.
Jordan, foul by Houston.
And that's why, because you know on the other end, they're going to go right to Michael Jordan. You want your 2 guard to compete against Michael. You should try to give him every scoring opportunity you can tonight.
Coverage of the NBA on Turner Sports continues tomorrow on TBS as Grant Hill and the Pistons head to Sacramento. Then on Friday, these same New York Knicks are in Charlotte. And a week from tonight, Doc and I will be in Milwaukee as the Detroit Pistons take on the Milwaukee Bucks. How about the performance of Grant Hill in double overtime in Los Angeles Sunday?
I tell you what, he's making shot after shot. He has taken his game to another level. And I think you can mention him this year right now as an MVP candidate. Usually the only guy you should consider is Michael Jordan, but Grant Hill is making a true run at the MVP this season.
Triple-double, and I mean, it was an authoritative triple-double.
Yeah, it was a loud one. It was a loud. I heard it in San Antonio.
5-point Chicago lead now. 1:05 to go in the first quarter. Charlie Ward, coach. Here's Ewing at the other end. Finds Ward. Back to Oakley. Mismatch from Kerr on him. Patrick went up, had nowhere to go. Another turnover.
I think they're going to talk about this because Luke Longley hit it out of his hands, and I think they want to talk about it. They're going to call it a jump ball.
Jimmy Clark, the man who makes the decision, so no turnover. It will be a jump ball. That's Steve Javie talking with Van Gundy now. See if it was knocked out.
Yeah, he definitely hit the ball. You can see it right there. I think he can come down on that. He can come down, I can tell you that. So I don't know what the refs are talking about. One guy saw that. If he saw that, the Knicks should get the ball.
Well, the discussion between Jimmy Clark and Steve Javie with Van Gundy, a disbelieving ear witness.
Yes.
Now Jimmy Clark is going to chat with Phil Jackson. Probably not discussing Indian artifacts right now.
Well, usually when a ref goes to talk to the other coach, that usually means they're going to give the ball to the Knicks. They're going to change the call. And we just don't want him to get too upset.
No, Phil didn't. Takes the decision with aplomb.
That's a great move by the refs right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Steve Javie saw that it wasn't a good call. He saw the right thing, and they changed it.
Now Van Gundy is arguing for a fresh 24.
He should. He wants more time, but he's not going to get it. I don't know if 3 seconds is right either. They should be happy they got the ball back.
Tony Brothers, yeah, you don't want to ask for too much. It's kind of like the little boy at Christmas.
Yes.
You know, the bike is one thing. The Lionel train set to go on top of it is a little too much.
We all have greed inside.
Buck Williams will inbound. Ewing, Patrick, off the front iron and then in the hands of Tony Kukoc. Here comes Pippen. He's had the hot hand in the first quarter. Oakley picks him up, kind of. There's Kukoc underneath.
Scottie Pippen right now is dominating this basketball game. I think he's making a statement to Houston, in which he played poorly last game. That was a fluke.
Pippen 2 of 14 in that loss Sunday. Here's Ward. Kukoc almost got it. He did. Another turnover. That's 7 in the quarter, most in the last 5 minutes.
That's probably why Van Gundy wanted them to shoot so quickly. It limits their chances of turnovers.
5 turnovers in the last 8 possessions. And the period at the end of the paragraph is a 3-point basket from Michael Jordan. Pippen kicked the ball. It'll be New York's to throw inbound. Watch the assist from Pippen.
Yeah, that is just a fantastic play. The whole play, Scottie handles the ball. He forces a double team, and he gets the ball to the open guy.
0.2 of a second left. Well, turnovers led to a 17-2 run. 6 turnovers in the last 9 possessions. And Pippen and Jordan made them pay with 31 points. We come to you tonight from the Windy City, a kind of miserable night in Chicago, Illinois. Not so cold, but rainy and foggy. Nevertheless, this team has drawn a full house to United Center because they have established the best record in part, 19-4 since December 1st. The New York Knicks 18-6 with the 3rd best mark, but boy, the last 5 minutes of that first quarter, Doc, it went all the way to Chicago.
Yeah, it went Chicago because the Bulls turned the ball over, or I'm sorry, the Knicks turned the ball over, exactly what Van Gundy did not want them to do. It's funny, they're down by 10 points. Van Gundy said he doesn't mind their stars beating them on the other team early on, and that's what's happening. 31 of the 33 points go to Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. 2 goes to Tony Kukoc. So the 3 guys have beat them so far, but the turnovers are killing them.
Scottie Pippen with only 5 points in that loss the other night. Only the 2nd time this season he had been held below double figures. He made sure that's not going to happen tonight. He's already got 13. And Michael Jordan erupted for 18 first quarter points.
Yeah, and he had a quiet 18 because it wasn't the type of 18 where he was posting up getting it. He got his points off turnover, shooting threes. That's not how Jeff Van Gundy wants them to score.
Bill Wennington starts the 2nd quarter on the floor in place of Luke Longley. Bill, who had 14 points in the loss to Houston on Sunday, gets his first bucket of the night. Charlie Ward picked up by Steve Kerr. Entry pass. Buck Williams. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Johnson. Fade away in the lane. It's good.
And that should be a huge mismatch also for the New York Knicks is Larry Johnson if Tony Kukoc is going to guard him. They need Larry Johnson to be big offensively. They need him to be Charlotte offensively tonight.
There's a turnover for Chicago, and Chris Childs has it back. Kukoc on Oakley now. Kerr guarding Childs. Wennington on Larry Johnson. Travel. This team leads the league in turnovers.
And they're en route.
Yep.
to doing it again tonight.
Had such a positive start in the first 6 minutes with only 1, but they've now gotten 6 in the last few minutes.
I tell you one thing they're doing, which they didn't do last week against Houston, is they're causing some turnovers themselves at least, and that can keep them in the game.
That one forced by Chris Childs. Here's Larry Johnson again. 7 turnovers for the Bulls, and they're low in the league. Here's Oakley getting position inside on Pippen. Charles Oakley with 8 points to match Ewing as the high point man for the New York Knicks. 8-point game. Chicago leads it. Johnson guards Pippen. Wennington finds Steve Kerr. The pump fake. 3-second violation. 8 turnovers for Chicago.
I think the entire Chicago Bull team thought Kerr was going to shoot the first 3. That pump fake caused that 3-second call.
35-27 Chicago. That one is off the mark. Wennington chases it down for the Bulls. Randy Brown back on the floor. Pippen, Kukoc, Michael Jordan rests. Here's another Chicago turnover. That's 4 turnovers their last 5 possessions. Johnson. Kukoc clears it.
And the Knicks are taking quick shots just like they want to do. I still think they can take better shots.
Buck Williams picks up Wennington. Randy Brown. Nice save by Buck Williams. Here comes Charlie Ward. He's got Giles left wing. Johnson calls for it. Pippen guards it. Clear out for Larry Johnson up in the lane and off the glass.
And that's what we want to see from Larry Johnson, and everybody wants to see from Larry Johnson right now is him being aggressive. That's something he hasn't done this season, and it's good to see. Just take a look at him. One thing he has done is shot the ball, but he has not taken the ball very well to the hole. If he can do this, the Knicks will have a great shot.
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. The Atlanta Hawks took their 10-game winning streak to Miami tonight. First half action, Steve Smith swatted by Alonzo Mourning, and watch the big fella run the floor. And watch the feed by Timmy Hardaway. Just lays it off for Zoe, 2 of his game-high 14 first-half points. Miami at the break with a 51-47 lead over the Hawks. There you see the score. Now let's go back to Chicago to Vernon, Doc, and Dick. Guys.
Miami comes in tied with the New York Knicks in the Atlantic Division, but Atlanta comes in tonight with 10 games in a row.
Yeah, no one's talking about Atlanta right now either.
Larry Johnson. We mentioned the fact that all of his stats have fallen off in his years in Charlotte.
Yeah, if you look here, I mean, every single category. And you know what? I don't think the Knicks are upset at that. I think when they look at Larry Johnson, his points are down. They expected that. His rebounds are down. I didn't think they expected that. I think Larry Johnson personally has been so concerned about playing defense and fitting in, he's forgot about his offensive game. They need him to remember soon.
6 straight Chicago turnovers, 6 in a row for a team that only averages 13 a game. And let's check in with Dick Versace.
I just got out of the Knicks huddle, and Jeff Van Gundy is concerned about the presence of Bill Wennington on the floor based on the way they play the pick and roll, Doc. You know, the double team, the blitz you used to do, the pop-out shooters wide open. Back to you guys.
Hey, Dick, did Jeff Van Gundy welcome you to that huddle with open arms?
He's very comfortable with me down there.
I assume you were not reading chapters, excerpts from Phil Jackson's book in the huddle.
Number 23.
Yeah, that's right.
Giles gets the free throw. Of course, Phil Jackson wrote a book called Sacred Hoops, and this morning Jeff Van Gundy saw us all looking at it, and he said, I can summarize that book for you in one quick swoop. And he wrote the number 23.
There's some truth to that, too.
Here's Kukoc. Makes it a very thin book, though.
Yeah, it does.
Randy Brown.
Well, he could have added some more numbers. He should have put 33 down also.
Right. 37-31. Finally, the Bulls don't turn it over. Brown picks up Giles. Kukoc guards Johnson. Kerr has Ward. And Pippen picks up Oakley. Charlie Ward leans in. No. Buck Williams with the rebound. He had a terrific day yesterday. 17 points and 11 rebounds. Best numbers of the season.
Yeah, he's had a terrific season. They brought him in here to be a defensive player, and he's become one of the better offensive players.
Johnson, double team. Knocked out of bounds, and it'll be New York's ball.
See, this is the things that the Bulls are all about. Double teaming and getting back. That's called a stunt and getting back. And he does that well, and the Bulls do that well. And that's why their defense is so good.
Giles is denied with the baseline drive, and here's Pippen. Gets it back from Randy Brown, finds Wennington underneath. Good movement from Buck Williams, and then he gets a hard foul on Bill Wennington.
That's one of the things the Knicks do better than any team in the league is hard foul. Well, maybe Miami now does that pretty well themselves.
Something about the teacher?
The teacher. the pupil. I tell you what, Chicago does it also. All the good teams do it. If you got a layup, you hard foul him, not hurt him, you hard foul him so he can't make the layup and make him earn it on the free throw line.
And that's where we see Bill Wennington now in that loss the other night, with Rodman serving the 3rd game of his suspension tonight and Ron Harper still on the inactive list, injured list. It's a limited bench now for Phil Jackson.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason he started Randy Brown, because he's trying to get some more production out of that bench. And by putting Tony Kukoc back into the bench lineup, you get some points out of him, and that's what he's trying to do.
Wennington shoots another one. Ewing with a rebound. Ward, Childs, Ewing, Williams, and Johnson on the floor for the Knicks. Kukoc, Wennington, Jason Caffey back in. Kerr and Michael Jordan is now on the floor for Chicago. Jordan with a pretty good rest to open the 2nd quarter. Childs, nice scoop shot.
And one of the things Jeff Van Gundy has done is he's putting Childs and Charlie Ward on the court. He's trying to make Michael Jordan play better defense on a quicker guy, or harder defense on a quicker guy.
Jason Caffey off the dribble, finds Jordan. 20 points for Jordan. .40-33 with 7:18 to go, first half of play. Childs kicks it out to Patrick Ewing. Takes it over Bill Wennington with Kerr flying in his face.
You can see the Knicks going right to Childs, trying to ISO or use pick and roll with Michael Jordan. They understand that Chris Childs does have a quickness advantage over Michael.
Childs defensively on Jordan, who's posting him up. And the foul's going to be called on Childs away from the ball. Third foul on Chris Childs.
Yeah, and just watch here. Watch Chris Childs move around and setting picks on Michael. What they're trying to do is wear him out. And Chris Childs is one of the quicker guys going to the basket in this league.
Well, Patrick Ewing arguing about something. I was looking down on the monitor and didn't see. I guess the disagreement is Chris Childs, who just got called for his 3rd foul, and Ewing is giving him a little counseling. Double foul. A technical, double technical was called on Jordan and Childs. Inbounded by Kukoc. Stolen by Buck Williams. Ran perilously close to a cameraman. That has become a very dangerous profession.
Yes, it has. For who? It costs Dennis more money.
Oh, by the way, if you didn't see it, there was a report from the Associated Press and a couple of other news sources here in Chicago that Mr. Rodman had settled out of court with the cameraman who was kicked the other night in Minnesota to the tune of $200,000, and then Rodman
How long does he plan on keeping
took himself, we are told, out to California for a vacation for the duration of his suspension.
Well, I think now every kid's dream is to be a cameraman.
Yes, that's right. 6:45 to go in the first half. 40-35. It's a 5-point game. Here's Steve Kerr, guarded by Charlie Ward. Jordan. Now Larry Johnson with the switch.
I tell you, he's feeling it. You can see his face. He's getting that, I don't know if you call it arrogant or cocky face on him, and that bothers anybody.
You seen it before?
I've seen it.
At the other end, Jordan with a rebound.
I do like watching it better from this distance.
Kerr, quick. Nope. Knocked out of bounds by Bill Wennington, so the Knicks will get it back.
Yeah, this is why you see a double technical foul. Look at the bottom of your screen, and you can see Chris Childs and Michael Jordan really going at it.
Low, here's Ewing. Finds Allen Houston. In and out. Tip no good. Tipped again. And it'll be Chicago ball. Now, there was conversation with Jordan and Childs that
yeah, I don't know what they were saying. It wasn't "I love you."
I don't think so. Although 5:45 to go. Johnson picks up Jordan again. Larry Johnson picks up a foul. That's his second.
And that's the second time Larry Johnson has had to switch on Michael Jordan, and that's not a good switch for anybody, especially Larry Johnson. You can see all he could do is reach out and try to hold him back.
Now you go back to what Jeff Van Gundy said to us this morning, though. Here's the shot in and out, and Charlie Ward for the Knicks. He said, we want Jordan to take every shot in the first 3 quarters and none of the shots in the last 6 minutes.
Oh, well, that's happening, actually. Scottie Pippen came out at the beginning of the game and had a great start. But Michael Jordan right now is carrying the Bulls, and Van Gundy is not too upset by that.
His team down by 7, although they did just turn it over. Now the ball is kicked. And it was kicked by a Knick. So a fresh 24, and Chicago's to throw inbounds.
And you know, one of the things I said earlier was a switch. It's not a switch. Van Gundy told us he might do this, and Larry Johnson is guarding Michael Jordan. He didn't like the matchup away from the bucket, but he doesn't mind him guarding him down on the post.
Jason Caffey tries to get possession, can't quite.
I tell you, Michael was so smart. He starts out the game, Chris Childs is on him, he goes to the post. Now Larry Johnson is on him, he takes the ball away from the basket to drive it because he knows he has a quickness advantage. That's a smart basketball player.
Ewing guarded by Wennington. Back to Larry Johnson for 3. Loose ball foul. And it's called against the Knicks. Now Michael has taken 12 of the 29 shots so far.
I would say the Knicks probably wanted him to take even more. Though that's a nice percentage if you're the Knicks.
Jordan and Kerr, Wennington, Caffey, and Kukoc. Wennington. Jordan with a spin move finds Kerr for a quick 3.
And that's the other guys.
Yep.
And the other guys will beat you if you let them.
22nd timeout called by the New York Knicks.
I can tell you that timeout is about exactly what just happened. Michael Jordan drove and the whole team went to help, and it gave Steve Kerr a wide open 3.
Gone to a full timeout. One of the nice surprises of this season thus far, the Minnesota Timberwolves and their head coach, Flip Saunders. Tom Gugliotta is putting together what may be an all-star season. Kevin Garnett in his second year, and the young man at point guard, Stephon Marbury, also playing quite well. And they've got a couple of guys off the bench who's played well. Sam Mitchell, a veteran, and second-year star Chris Carr. I like what Minnesota's done so far, Doc.
Yeah, I love this team. They've had problems on the road, and that's because of their youth. But these young knuckleheads, as Karl Malone called them, have come to play basketball, and that team will be in the playoffs, and they're going to cause some problems because they're going to have so much energy and so much athleticism.
Were you ever a knucklehead?
Absolutely. I think we all were. It's funny. I was telling you earlier that you hear these guys, Michael Jordan and Karl Malone, talk about the young players.
Charles Barkley.
Yeah, Charles Barkley. I think they forgot about themselves when they were young. If I remember right, Michael Jordan was froze out in the All-Star game because the guy said he was trying to be bigger than the game.
Here's Childs. Oh, my goodness. That play worked well out of the timeout.
Yeah. If you're a coach, you have to be real happy.
Yeah,
you grew up and play, you come out and it's run to perfection.
Allen Houston back on the floor, picks up Scottie Pippen. Pippen had 13 in the first quarter. Here's Longley, guarded by Ewing. Double team comes from Childs. That leaves Kerr open, and he shoots an air ball. But it is tipped last by Larry Johnson. Shooting percentages thus far, both teams shooting quite well. New York at 49%, and Chicago coming back after that horrible experience down in Houston at 54%. They shot 36% in that loss.
Yeah, they're shooting a lot better this game, obviously. One thing, they're not down by 20 early. When the Bulls did make that run and went up by 10, tonight the Knicks have kept their composure, and they're staying in the game.
Michael Jordan, pump fake, Longley, back to Kerr for 3. This time, the long rebound in the hands of Larry Johnson. Steve Kerr, the number 3 three-point man percentage-wise in the NBA this year. He's always at the top of that list, or near the top. Pippen guards Johnson. Here's Ewing.
The X factor is Patrick Ewing, and I've said it. They need to go to him. He hadn't had a shot in quite some time. You got to keep giving him touches.
A little too strong on that one. Here's Jordan for 3. And Ewing tips it to himself. 3 rebounds now for Patrick Ewing. Only 3 fouls thus far on Chicago. Here's Childs. And Houston with an acrobatic move, and Johnson with the rebound offensively and puts it back in.
Houston had very little chance of controlling that ball, but he kept it alive, and it gave them a basket, and Larry Johnson got it.
And the Knicks have gotten back within 6 points now. A 22nd timeout called by Phil Jackson. As he chats with Luke Longley. Well, a lot has been made about what's going on in the East. Everybody chasing Chicago again. How about out west? Seattle now 29-11. The Lakers a half game back. And down there in 7th spot, Phoenix 15-25. Kevin Johnson and Cedric Ceballos have led the way in the last 5 games, and Danny Ainge hasn't taken a towel in the face.
No, he hasn't, and I think that's the biggest improvement on the team so far is that he hasn't. I tell you what, Phoenix Suns, you better watch this team. This team has played about 500 balls since Danny Ainge has taken over, and I would say at the bottom of the playoff, you should watch Phoenix. I think they're going to get in.
Any doubt in your mind that the Suns had to trade Robert Horry once the towel went in Danny's face?
The only other way you could have gone is maybe think that you can reach him now and get him to do things, because he would have wanted to get in good favor. He would have done anything, but I think they did the right thing. That was the only way they really could have gone, and they make the right decision. And they got a score. Ceballos has been playing great.
Ewing, Buck Williams, Oakley, Larry Johnson. On the floor now for the Knicks. Here's Jordan from the corner. No. Ewing gets position on Longley. Childs is running. See if they put it up quickly this time.
I tell you one thing the Knicks have done. They've gone to a big lineup. We've seen 3 different types of lineups for the Knicks. A quick lineup, a small lineup, and now you're seeing a big lineup. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see some post-ups by the Knicks.
Larry Johnson with that. Johnson is 6 of 9 tonight. 2:33 before halftime. Another rebound into the hands of Chris Childs, and a chance to cut it to within 2 or possibly 1. A 4-point game. Ewing wants it. And they'll clear it out. Kukoc comes to help, and Ewing goes right over Longley. It's a 2-point ball game. An 8-0 Knick run, 45-43. Jordan now 7 of 14. Not that effective in the second half.
And right now, the team with energy are the New York Knicks. They're playing more aggressive than the Bulls, where the Bulls early on, when they made their run, they were the team causing the turnovers. It's the Knicks' turn right now.
Ewing off the dribble. Fouled. Larry Johnson 6 of 9 so far in the game.
Larry Johnson is playing like the Larry Johnson of last year, exactly what the Knicks want him to do, especially on the post, because he's able to not only make shots, but also draw fouls.
Patrick Ewing goes to the free throw line with a chance to tie this one up for the first time since it was 21 all. Now he has a chance to get his team within 1. Coming up on the Nike halftime report, Ernie Johnson and Reggie Theus in our Atlanta studios. And they'll have scores and highlights from around the league and a look at the Hawks' effort to go for 11 straight in Miami. Ewing 1 of 2. And a 9-0 New York run since Steve Kerr hit a 3-pointer.
And they've done it like the Knicks of old. The Knicks of old would make runs defensively, and that's what these new New York Knicks are doing today.
Help defense comes from Oakley, and he draws the foul. And that brings Spike Lee up. Spike is a visitor here from New York.
Well, you can see him driving. He definitely gets hit in the head right there. But Charles Oakley feels that he's never committed a foul. That wasn't Charles Oakley. That was Allen Houston's weak side help.
I was laughing with Spike Lee. The last time he was here in the United Center was in the playoffs last year. He flew all the way from Cannes, France, the film festival, to come watch. He said, yeah, I know. It was a very expensive, quick visit to Chicago.
And it was a disappointing visit. I can guarantee you that. I don't even have to look it up. I know it was a disappointing visit.
Well, and he pounded on somebody else for tickets tonight, because last year he got Gene Siskel's tickets.
Yeah, and Spike Lee, you see a lot of celebrities at basketball games. Spike Lee and Gene Siskel are fans. Both one fan of the Knicks, obviously, and one fan of the Bulls, but they are true fans of the game.
Here comes Oakley. Strong move, and he misses the dunk. The putback in and out. Ewing with an offensive board. Frustration on the part of both Oakley and Ewing.
Yeah, that was tough. The dunk attempt by Oakley was just being aggressive. Patrick Ewing missed that shot because the basket was still, you can see the basket still moving after Oakley tried to dunk the ball. And look at the basket jump. That's why Patrick Ewing's ball didn't go in.
Runner from Pippen is good. And it's back to a 5-point game with 1:04 to go in the half. Randy Brown back on the floor guarding Charlie Ward. Oh, boy. Nice move by Ward.
But that play was caused by Allen Houston. Allen Houston ran so hard to get open, the entire Knicks defense has shifted their attention on him. No one ever saw Charlie Ward go to the bucket.
Kukoc over Oakley. Kukoc gets his own follow and then loses the ball, but Longley controls it. Back to Pippen. They'll settle it down. Jordan off the dribble. My, oh, my.
He does so many things. He shoots the three, and that's how he got in the paint, because he's been making his three. He penetrates, dishes.
22 seconds to go before halftime. Here's Ewing again. Back to Ward. Somehow he finds Houston in the corner. Johnson to Charlie Ward. Off the dribble again. Nope. And Pippen for the Bulls. Jordan for the Bulls. The Bulls will end the half with an emphasis. New York fought back to within one. Larry Johnson with 12, but it was Chicago at the end. The pass from Michael Jordan, and then the three-pointer from Michael Jordan. 54-46 with a half to play. Back in the city of Chicago, beautiful downtown area highlighted by one of the landmarks here, the well-known Water Tower on the heart of the Magnificent Mile, and just about 2.5 miles west of there. We are at the United Center, sold out again tonight as the Chicago Bulls lead the New York Knicks 54-46. Just a moment ago, Dick Versace had a chat with New York coach Jeff Van Gundy.
Jeff, you can't be too unhappy with the game plan. We've been keeping track, and 60% of your shots are coming in the first 13 seconds of the shot clock.
Yeah, I think we're trying to attack. I think we have to limit our turnovers a little bit more in transition. We've got to convert a little bit better. But the idea of running it up and trying to get a quick shot, I think, is the best way to play against them. The one thing we got to do is we've got to have better reaction to loose balls. That's been our major problem the whole night.
You're forcing some turnovers as well as turning it over yourself a little bit, but I think the play of Larry Johnson is something you got to be pleased with as well.
Yeah, Larry's being aggressive, going to the basket. We spoke about that today. It's all we want from him is just to be in an attack mode, aggressively going to the basket. And then there's going to be nights where he doesn't make shots, but we'll live with that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, Dick, thanks.
All right, back to Vern and the doctor.
Thank you, Dick. Stated with emphasis. I'm the party of the first part, and he's the party of the second part. Larry Johnson 6 of 9, but they are having problems getting Allen Houston off the shot.
Yeah, they have to be happy with Larry Johnson. Now they need Allen Houston. He was outscored 27-3. Now, granted, Allen Houston is not guarding Michael Jordan very much, but Michael Jordan is guarding him, and they need Allen Houston to score some more points for them.
Over the course of 4 games last year when Allen Houston was in Detroit, Michael Jordan had some of his biggest games, and Allen Houston had problems.
Yeah, last year, Michael Jordan had his season high against Allen Houston. He shot 54% to 41%, and 12 steals to 0 steals. 60 three-point field goal percentage for Michael Jordan against Allen Houston last year, 60%.
Do you think that Van Gundy's tactic is working thus far, and that is having Jordan shoot the majority of the shots?
Yeah, I think it's working in one way, that Jordan is shooting a lot of shots, but the Knicks are turning the ball over, and Michael Jordan are getting easy shots. They don't want him to take easy shots. They want him to take tough shots. And right now, he has 27 points, and I would say 20 of them have come off easy shots. That's not the way you want Michael. You want him to earn it. You want him to work and hope he gets tired. I do think that's the difference between Michael Jordan now and Michael Jordan 10 years ago. 10 years ago, he never got tired.
Randy Brown picked up by Chris Childs as we get set to go in the third quarter. Jason Caffey back on the floor in the spot normally occupied by the absent Dennis Rodman. Oakley guards him. Longley picked up by Patrick Ewing. Here's Pippen. Quick start, 13 first quarter points, and at the shot clock, he misses on that basket.
Yeah. Yes. You can watch Scottie Pippen right here just drive to the bucket. And basically, he gets hung up in the air, gets caught in traffic. He was looking for the foul. Refs usually won't bail you out if the shot clock is down to 1 second. If that had been 23 seconds on the shot clock, he might have gotten a foul call.
Here comes Chris Childs. Again, John Starks unable to play tonight because of the injury suffered in Phoenix. He should be back on Sunday against Miami. Allen Houston, 1 of 8 in the first half. Larry Johnson, 6 of 9. And Oakley grabs another offensive board. Back in the hands of Chris Childs. Ewing calls for it. Longley plays him straight up. Patrick travels.
Just watch Allen Houston, and you can see the Knicks, their first play in the second half is getting the ball to Allen Houston, but Caffey out of nowhere comes to help. The Knicks and the Bulls play great help side defense.
54-46. We played a minute, third quarter. First meeting of 4 this season between these two. And the Bulls, who at one point in the first half turned it over on 6 straight possessions, get their 13th turnover of this ball game.
And Luke Longley just got a lashing by Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen about being aware and looking for the basketball.
Now Longley guards Ewing. 5 on the shot clock. Ewing with the long jumper. Can't get the roll. Oakley gets his 5th offensive rebound. Longley standing around that time.
Yeah, he was. And the Knicks have to be happy with that because they're not a very good offensive rebounding team.
Oakley on the pick and roll. Gets it back to Childs from the corner. Yes, that's for 2 inside the line.
And he shot that at the same time he was blowing a bubble out of his mouth. With his gum.
That's kind of a casual approach to the game.
Boy, that's concentration.
Now Allen Houston guards Michael Jordan. Another turnover as Jordan tried to find Longley. 14 turnovers for the Bulls. Off the pick from Ewing. The shot no good. Here comes Pippen in transition.
Now you want quick shots, but I don't think Van Gundy was real happy with that one.
Pippen finds Longley into the hands of Jordan. Goes baseline. No. Longley tips it to Randy Brown. Loose ball picked up by Randy Brown, who yells at Longley. Longley's getting a verbal lashing from everybody so far.
He is right now.
Going to go back on the injured list. Now Longley guarded by Oakley. Jordan in the post. Over Allen Houston. And Caffey's going to get called for the foul. Now Longley, let's see what they're yelling about.
He's not looking for the basketball. That's what they're yelling at him about. And Michael looked at him again. His hands get up late, though. In Longley's defense, that was a tough pass for anybody to catch.
9:05 to go, third quarter. Back to Oakley. Pump fake. Loses control, but it's underneath, and Larry Johnson puts it in.
That was a great pass by Charles Oakley, who basically lost the ball and still saw the guy to get the ball to him, and he got it to Larry Johnson.
Oakley with 3 assists to complement his 5 offensive boards tonight. Now Jordan, Houston, Longley.
And they like him again.
Everybody's happy.
I think what the Bulls want to do right now is they're trying to go to Longley. They're trying to get something out of him early.
Allen Houston can't buy one. 1 of 9. New York is now zipped for 8 from 3-point range tonight. Pick and roll. Longley with the pick. Pippen Ewing with the switch. Now Johnson has him back. Here's Caffey in the post over Oakley. In and out into the hands of Chris Childs. New York will run, but they do not have the numbers. Nice pass to Allen Houston. Pippen picks him up.
And that's something they need to do more, is to find Allen Houston on the break to get him off.
How about Johnson underneath, but good defense. And here comes Pippen, 3-on-2. Pulls up, takes it for 3. In and out. And it'll be New York ball.
This is why you want a big guy on your team, because he can always get the blocks, and that's what they want Luke Longley to do, is to do the little things, make the jump shots, throw, get passes, and block shots.
Oakley. Caffey takes down the board. 6-point Chicago lead, 7.5 to go third quarter. Jordan has missed 4 of his last 5 shots. Back it goes to Pippen for 3. Longley with the offensive board. Ewing with the block. Patrick had 7 the other night in Phoenix, and Jordan has traveled. Clean block from Ewing.
Authoritative block from Ewing. I mean, just laid back in perfect timing.
Chris Childs picked up by Randy Brown. Entry pass to Ewing, puts it in.
Well, I tell you what, Patrick Ewing just did a drill on sealing and blocking out. He had perfect position in the post, and then he made the shot, which you want him to do if you have that great a position.
Longley gets it back, and traveling called on Scottie Pippen. 16 Chicago turnovers. Unexpected from the defending NBA champions. They lead the league in fewest turnovers tonight. They've got a bunch.
You try to fit in, you try to, worry about what people are thinking of you, shooting the ball a lot, passing the ball. But, John's been here 8 years, and he's had his way, and his way is being aggressive, a carefree attitude, and in New York and playing a 2-guard, that's kind of what you have to do, and I've kind of watched John, and even though he's come off the bench, he's kind of helped me in that way.
Yeah, and you look at his numbers right now, 1 for 9. That's not good. And they do want him to play more like John Starks, be more aggressive. I think the next step the Knicks have to make to really become the elite team is find a way to get Allen Houston more involved in their offense. That's the last thing they haven't done yet. And when they do that, this team is going to be very dangerous.
John Starks not playing tonight because of the injury. Here's Ewing again, in and out. Oakley with his 6th offensive rebound tonight. And a 3-pointer for Childs. Got it.
That's why you like offensive rebounds, because everyone is out of defensive position. The one thing the Bulls always do is all 5 guys go to the board. And when that happens and they don't get it, the Knicks will get open shots.
That was the first 3-pointer canned by New York tonight. Here's Longley, blocked by Ewing. That's the 3rd block for Ewing tonight.
And the Bulls are making a concerted effort to go to Longley. They might be barking up the wrong tree tonight.
Knicks with a chance to reclaim the lead. They trail by as many as 12, and the one-man band named Spike Lee is up and hollering.
Yes, he is.
57-56, 5:48 to go. Turnovers have proven costly for Chicago. Here's Randy Brown. He got the start tonight. Here's Jordan. Nobody there to guard him.
Oh, wow. What?
Nobody.
Oh, what a breakdown. Of all the guys on the court that you can't lose, it's number 23. Now, I know you want him to shoot the ball. But again, Vern, those are easy shots. That's not a very tough shot.
Oh, what a concept. Let's let Michael spot up with nobody there. 7 3-pointers tonight for Chicago. And Jason Caffey, who had only 3 rebounds the other night in his start for Rodman against Houston, has now had 3 in this game. Bulls back on top by 2, 59-57. Brown, difficult shot.
It really was. It's floating in the air.
Pippen stole it away from Ewing, but he was on the line. Watch Ewing's block a moment ago, Doc.
A great flash by Luke Longley, just a better athlete in Patrick Ewing. And Chris Childs using his quickness, getting around Randy Brown, who is one great defensive player. And he likes it. Spike Lee.
Under 5 minutes to go, third quarter.
Allen Houston to Ewing, guarded by Wennington now. Runner in the paint, no. Another offensive board from Charles Oakley.
And right now, we don't talk about Dennis Rodman much tonight, but the one thing they're missing is Dennis Rodman, a body on Charles Oakley. They don't have a body who can really be put on Charles Oakley. That's a big man, and you need another big man to stay on him, and that guy would have been Dennis Rodman.
No offensive rebound there, went out of bounds. But the Knicks do retain possession. And again, they play Ewing head up. Back to Houston for three. No. Ewing with the offensive board. That's 4 offensive rebounds for Ewing. And here's Houston. He can't find one.
Yeah, that's just when everything goes wrong. He gets a point-blank layup and misses it.
At the other end, Jordan makes him pay. Allen Houston, 5 of 16 yesterday afternoon in the Garden, is 1 of 11 tonight. Michael Jordan has 29 points. Two weeks from Friday, TNT happy to be a part of All-Star Weekend live from Cleveland. Last year's rookie game went down to the wire. This year, Allen Iverson will be there. He might take a shot or two. Marcus Camby, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Stephon Marbury, and Ray Allen, the top 5 picks, all part of the Schick rookie game roster. And the Eastern Conference club will be coached by Red Auerbach.
And you just hope the young guys know who he is. That'll be the most suspenseful thing of the whole thing if they know who Red Auerbach is. I hope they do.
It will be a disgrace if they don't. 61-57, but he lights up the cigar. They'll have a pretty good idea. 4:17 to go, third quarter. Jordan with 32 rather than 29. I almost forgot that wide open three-pointer he took. But the offensive boards, Oakley with 8 of the 16 for New York. That's been a decided advantage for the Knicks tonight. And again, underlines the absence of Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, it really does. And Oakley does what he does best. He's a blue-collar type of worker, and he's doing it tonight.
Giles, Oakley, Houston, Ewing, and Larry Johnson. They're going to isolate Larry Johnson with Tony Kukoc. Nice play, and Oakley can't get the miss. It's in the hands of Randy Brown. 4-point Chicago lead. They actually trailed by 1 a few moments ago until Jordan hit that three-pointer. Brown, Wennington left open by Ewing.
And he's not going to miss those. That's exactly what Bill Wennington wants. He wants spot-up jump shots. If a guy can get into the paint and penetrate, he'll get those.
Now Houston guarded by Jordan. Ewing, Kukoc comes to help, and Ewing loses it. Kukoc and Brown, 2-on-2. Pulls up, takes the jumper, got it. 22nd timeout, Jeff Van Gundy.
That's a real nice timeout. I know he just called one, but that's a nice one to call again. You cannot let this team get up too far, and Van Gundy understands that.
Hear that? 1 step, Charlie Ward. Hard and home.
Muffled conversation at best for Chicago.
Yeah, but I can guarantee you, Vernon, you know exactly what you're talking about.
Child's looking back on MJ. Use your wing fill. Give up.
Bill Jackson in his 8th year, 448 victories, 165 defeats. A 9-0 Chicago run. Coming up tomorrow night, Detroit goes out to California to take on the Kings. That's at 8 o'clock, followed by Inside the NBA. We're back live. And Chris Childs gets the pick from Ewing, kicks it out to Charlie Ward. Inside the line for 2, no. Wennington, loose ball foul is called.
And right now, the Knicks defense has been fine in this second half. It's their offense, and they're looking for points. They're going to Patrick Ewing, but the Bulls are doing a pretty good job. They need somebody else, and if Allen Houston's going to struggle, you need Larry Johnson to get it off offensively.
Giles back on Jordan. Jordan has 34.
You know he's going to get his.
And the lead like that is back to 10 and 11-0 run. Childs penetrates, dishes to Oakley. Awkward shot, but he puts it in.
Yeah, really tough shot, but great find by Chris Childs. The one thing the Knicks are doing that they didn't do in the first half, now they're starting to use a lot of clock offensively, and that's what Van Gundy did not want them to do.
Kukoc, no. Ewing with another rebound. 22:15 to go, third quarter. Jordan picks up Childs. Ewing calls for it in the low post. Fade away. 2 more. Patrick Ewing with 17 points in the game.
Yeah, and that's a quick shot by Patrick Ewing. Exactly what the Knicks want. They got to quicken their offense, and they went to Patrick Ewing. With Bill Wennington on them, you got to keep going there. And with Chris Childs on Michael Jordan, you have to keep going there also.
And Jordan went right back to the post. And Michael Jordan has 36. Ewing again. Let's try it a second time. Nope. Oakley knocks it out of bounds. Pippen says Oakley touched it last, and that's the judgment of the officials. Time to take a look at tonight's Chevy scoreboard, and don't forget to tune in to CNN at 11 o'clock for scores, highlights, and an in-depth look at the sports issues of the day on the simulcast of CNN-SI, the 24-hour sports news network from CNN and Sports Illustrated. 1:25 to go, third quarter. Kicked out to Pippen. Nope. Oakley clears it for the Knicks.
And Bern, I really like what Jeff Van Gundy has just done. He took Larry Johnson out. He put Allen Houston back in. They're going to post it up now and spread the floor and try to make the Bulls double team Patrick Ewing so they're good guys and get threes. The problem is you got to throw it in the post right.
Yeah.
Great play by Michael Jordan. Great play.
Yep. They doubled Patrick Ewing and got the turnover. Back to Wennington. Oh, he loves that shot.
Yes, he does. But the Bulls are searching for offense, and Van Gundy understands, or I'm sorry, the Knicks are. Van Gundy understands that, and that's why he's put in 3 guards in their unit. They're going with a 3-guard lineup. I like that move.
New York only 7 of 24 in this quarter. There's Kukoc stepping in the passing lane, and another turnover. That's 14. Randy Brown kicks it out to Jordan for 3.
Another wide open shot for Michael Jordan. He's scoring a ton of points, and he's not having to work very hard for him. You're not going to win a lot of basketball games giving Michael Jordan easy shots.
Michael Jordan has led the way to an 18-4 Chicago run. 39 points for number 23. Back at the United Center in Chicago, where the Bulls lead by 13, and John Stark's not playing tonight. Not only that, though, he's been absent from the New York bench in the third quarter, and Dick Versace has that story. Dick?
Well, I mean, John's here, but he's not here. He's sitting in the locker room with headphones on, watching the game on television. Apparently got into an argument with the refs just before the end of the half. They told Van Gundy, don't bring him back out for the half. So he started to come back in anyway, and they said, Van Gundy, get him back.
You know John very well, Doc. Did that surprise you?
Not at all. He's the only player that can be in a suit and get thrown out of the game.
74-61. Here's Charlie Ward, picked up by Steve Kerr.
Well, stop transmitting it after all.
9 on the shot clock, now 8. Pick and roll with Buck Williams. Childs, difficult shot, no. Offensive board, put back to Charlie Ward, no. And that will be the end of the quarter. And it ends after the New York Knicks took a 1-point lead at 57-56. Michael Jordan said, enough of that stuff. He scored 12 of the 18 points in the 18-4 run that has Chicago leading by 13.
EJ back at you from Atlanta. Check out the closing ticks at Miami Arena tonight. The Hawks with a 10-game winning streak on the line, down by 3. Henry James to tie it? No. They keep it alive, and Steve Smith, desperation. He led the Hawks with 22, but that won't go. And that's it for the 10-game Atlanta winning streak. Tim Hardaway, 24 points and 11 assists to lead the Miami Heat to a 94-91 win. Back to Chicago.
Okay, Ernie, not only does that give Miami the win, it gives them, at least for the moment, a half-game lead in the Atlantic Division. Because their co-leaders, the New York Knicks, find themselves trailing by 13 as we get set for the final quarter here at the United Center. Vern Lundquist, Doc Rivers, Dick Versace. And New York, abysmal offensively in that third quarter.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, you shoot 27% from the field. You're not going to take any type of lead, especially against the Chicago Bulls. They want Michael Jordan to score, but I think his points are too easy. He's not having to work for his baskets. He's getting wide open threes, and he's scoring points off of turnovers. If that continues to happen, Michael Jordan will be fresh as a daisy those last 6 minutes of the game.
And he, as you pointed out, he's got great legs right now, and he's back on the floor to start the fourth quarter. Kerr picks up Charlie Ward. Allen Houston, Larry Johnson's back on the floor. So is Buck Williams. Here's Houston. He's now 1 of 12 for the game. Loose ball. Caffey dives for it. Wennington picks it up. Here comes Jordan. Johnson picks him up defensively. Michael goes for 41.
And he knew it was in right when it left his hand. And again, that's on a quick shot, a loose ball, and an easy shot for Michael Jordan.
He has made his last 6.
He's feeling it.
Kukoc picks up Larry Johnson. The lead is 15. That's the highest, the biggest lead of the ball game. Williams off-balance shot. Jordan with another rebound.
And that's not the shot you want Buck Williams shooting. I think he felt he got pushed a little bit.
Michael Jordan with the assist, and then he glanced over at the New York bench at Jeff Van Gundy.
Well, he loves torturing the Knicks, and he's doing it very well right now.
Ward. It's hard to believe it was 57-56 not that long ago with New York on top, and Houston finally ends the drought. That ends a 22-4 run. Back to a 15-point margin, 78-63. Jordan guarded by Houston. Steve Kerr. Michael for 3. But Kerr gets it back. Nevertheless, there is a 24-second violation. Let's watch that pass from Jordan underneath the Caffey.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, he's doing everything right now. He sees the court, he's feeling it. But when a guy's that wide open, Vern, you could have made that one. I'm pretty sure of it.
I'll tell you what, I'm even sure of that one. Buck Williams will throw it in for the Knicks, 78-63 with 10:10 to go. Now Larry Johnson, double team comes from Jordan. Kicked out of bounds, touched last by Michael Jordan.
And you can see the Knicks struggling for offense again. And what the Bulls do so well, they know it. And so you get a guy like Michael Jordan helping out on defense. You get a Scottie Pippen. The Bulls know exactly what the Knicks want to do. They want to go to Patrick Ewing or Larry Johnson, and it just hasn't worked out so far.
Charlie Ward misses the three-pointer. Among the other shooting woes tonight, three-point shots have not fallen for New York. They're 1 of 11. Kukoc in the hands of Steve Kerr. Knicks have never won in the United Center. Wennington. Allen Houston clears it for New York.
And that's why I left the Knicks. I went to the Spurs because I felt we had a better chance of winning here. It didn't happen.
Three-pointer is good. Allen Houston. And it's a 12-point game with 9:17 remaining. Jordan wants it, gets it. Caffey brings it back outside. And Michael speaks to it with authority. Allen Houston with the foul. Before the shot.
Chicago, watch here. Chicago understands right now the Knicks need points. Who they're going to go to? They're going to go to Patrick Ewing. Three guys surround Patrick Ewing, and they're forcing him to pass the ball and make somebody else beat him.
12-point game. Caffey gets it. Stolen. Charlie Ward has it. Kerr fouls it. Probably a good foul.
It was a great foul. He was going to go by him. That's a great foul. I tell you, Vern, it's a 12-point game. The Knicks are not out of this. I know we're in Chicago, but you can see the Knicks getting that energy back right now. This is an important stretch for them right now. And the guy I would go to is Allen Houston. I think he's starting to feel it a little bit.
Houston in the low post right now, fights off screens and comes baseline left side. Now Patrick Ewing, Kukoc with the double team. Larry Johnson, as Kukoc gets back, leaving Houston open for three.
Yeah, you can see it. He is really starting to feel it. It's amazing. You can miss 20 shots in a row, but you get that layup that he made, and now he's feeling it.
Allen Houston has hit 3 of his last 4 after going only 1 for 11. It's a 9-point game. Kerr, it's blocked by Ewing. 4 blocks for Ewing in the ball game.
That was a great block. You rarely see a guy with a 3-pointer, and that's Allen Houston again.
Air ball, but Johnson is right there.
Yes, it's a timeout. The Bulls need one.
A 10-0 New York Knicks run. They're right back in it as the big guy gets the block on Kerr. 78-71, exactly 8 minutes remaining in this one. Almost 2 years ago, in the 5th game of his famed return to basketball, Michael Jordan visited Madison Square Garden and his usual nemesis, John Starks. It was an unforgettable performance, an evening Starks would rather forget.
Double team. Oakley gets there. Too late. Oh, and did you ask, is he back?
But on the game's final possession, Jordan with an assist to Bill Wennington. 55 points that day for Michael Jordan.
That was outstanding.
You're a pretty good buddy of John Starks, right?
Yeah, I am. It was funny. I watched that game. I was with the Spurs at the time. And John Starks called me from the locker room right after that game and he said, "Did you see it?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "He got me." And I said, "Yeah, he did." He said, "That's all right. I'll get him back someday."
41 points tonight for Michael Jordan on 14 of 24 from the field. And it's going to be Jordan and Longley, Kukoc, Caffey, and Kerr as Pippen continues to rest. And for New York, Larry Johnson, Charlie Ward, Buck Williams, Patrick Ewing, and Allen Houston. Jordan back to Longley after the pick and roll. Back to Jordan now. A leaner, and Allen Houston picks up the foul. Jordan jawing with Jeff Van Gundy and Don Chaney on the bench.
Yeah, they were upset. They looked at that as a bailout. They said he couldn't have made the shot, but that's Michael Jordan. He might make the shot, so you really do have to call the foul.
Jordan at the free throw line. His season high, 50 against Miami.
It just seems like somehow the Knicks have to be involved. His season high is against Miami. Pat Riley, he loves torturing the Knicks, and he still thinks Pat Riley is with the Knicks.
Charlotte defeated Houston tonight, 114-108.
Yeah, Dave Cowens has done a masterful job. Everyone has had written Charlotte off before this season.
I think that's 5 in a row for Charlotte.
Yeah, they're playing great. Glenn Rice and Anthony Mason have been great for the Charlotte Hornets. One of them should be on the All-Star team.
Ewing, double team, finds Charlie Ward for 3. Yes! It's a 6-point ball game with 7.5 to go. Charlie Ward, 5 points. Kerr guarded by Ward. Pippen guarded by Larry Johnson. Now the switch with Ewing, and the double team leaves Longley open. But good rotation from Charlie Ward, and they get the turnover. 19 Chicago turnovers in the game. Jordan goes for a turnover there. Ward penetrates. Nice move. Oh, yes.
What a shot. I tell you, when he pump faked, I didn't think there's any way he can get that ball back up to the basket. That's a great shot. And Vern, this is a young team. You look at the Knicks, they're not young age-wise, but they're young together. And every time they do something good against a good team like this, you can watch and see their confidence rise.
Kukoc, no. Ewing, yes. And a chance to get within 2, possibly 1. Here's Allen Houston, New York on a 15-2 run. And the foul before the shot. Michael Jordan, his first.
It looked like he agreed with the call.
80-76, 6:31 to go. Charlie Ward, Allen Houston, quickly underneath to Buck Williams. Kukoc has him. And it's a two-point game.
And that's a shot, and that's a mismatch. Buck Williams is too big for Tony down on the post. I was surprised the Bulls didn't give Tony some help.
17-2 New York lead. Ewing goes for the steal. Longley in the hands of Kerr. Kukoc guarded by Buck Williams. He goes for the steal. 6 on the shot clock. Longley finally to Kukoc. Off the front rim, loose ball. Kukoc has it in a fresh 24.
And that's exactly what Jeff Van Gundy said at halftime. The Bulls get to all the loose balls. They get to them before their guys do, and that's hurting the team, and that one was a big one.
Jordan. Shooter's roll. A Jordan roll.
Yeah, he has a lot of good rolls.
Michael Jordan ends a 17-2 run. He's got 45, but it's a 4-point game. And now it's time to take a look at tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Rebounding edge thus far to the Knicks, 39-34. Patrick Ewing with 17 points and 13 rebounds. The combo in the center, Longley and Wennington. Robert Parrish has not played tonight. 9 offensive rebounds, a total of 11.
Yeah, and an 8-point differential at the center spot. I think the Bulls would take that. That's not bad. Now, it'll be interesting. I think Jeff Van Gundy may call that timeout because he said the last 6 minutes of the game, they don't want Michael Jordan taking shots. Michael Jordan made that shot. He called an immediate timeout. He wants him to get into a good play, obviously, but he also wants more help on Michael. From this point on, he wants somebody else other than Michael to beat the Knicks.
Here's Charlie Ward, picked up by Randy Brown. They get it in the hands of Larry Johnson. Pippen lays back from him. Ewing wants it. Longley has it, and they play him straight up. Now Pippen comes to help, and Randy Brown steps to the passing lane.
And Pippen caused that whole play. His defense is what made Patrick Ewing step out.
Pippen misses on the 3. Ewing tips it in the hands of Allen Houston. It's still a 4-point game with 5:05 remaining in regulation. Johnson. Nope. Pippen with a rebound. 6 rebounds for Scottie Pippen. Now Michael Jordan, Randy Brown, Pippen, Longley, and Caffey. And they'll spread it out. Caffey off the screen set by Jordan. Allen Houston guards him. Michael, 3 moves and a basket. And this time he glances at you.
Yeah, he should. He should glance at all of us. We call that being put in a blender. He spent Allen Houston around every which way, and that's why Chris Childs is coming back in the game.
Jordan with 47. Ewing in and out. Buck Williams can't get it.
And Ewing's going to have to be the answer.
Randy Brown over Houston. Pippen with an offensive rebound. Have the Knicks run out of gas?
I don't think they have, but I tell you what, they can allow offensive rebounds, and they got to get good shots.
They put together a wonderful 4th quarter run, but here's Jordan again. Johnson fights for the board, out of bounds, Chicago ball. Larry Johnson asked Jimmy Clark to seek advice, and Jimmy Clark's not going to do it. Here was Jordan.
I mean, the move was great, and as a defender, it's really not much you can do. Now, Jeff Van Gundy is bringing in Chris Childs, but he's going to keep him on Steve Kerr and keep Allen Houston on Michael Jordan. I'm surprised by that. I thought he would make the switch because Jordan is getting most of his point away from the bucket and not on the post right now.
Houston guards Jordan, who has 47. Longley is guarded by Ewing. Kukoc with Buck Williams on him. Here's Jordan again. Houston flies at him, alters the shot. Kukoc tries to save it, can't. And Michael Jordan is talking with Tony Brothers on the near side.
Well, Allen Houston, at least he's saying Allen Houston ran by and hit him on the elbow on that shot. He's trying to figure out, tell us that that's why he missed it so poorly. I don't know if it's the truth, though, Vern. I thought he just missed it. He just had a bad shot.
84-78, 3.5 to go in regulation. Here's Giles guarded by Kerr. Caffey on the bench. Larry Johnson kicks it out to Ewing. Baseline jumper too strong. The tip, no. Buck Williams loses it to Scottie Pippen, who finds Tony Kukoc. Jordan right wing. Instead they go to Kerr. Now back to Jordan. Off the dribble, kicks it out to Kukoc. 4-3. Longley over the back, loose ball foul.
And the Knicks need a good shot. And that last one was a good shot. Larry Johnson did exactly what they wanted him to do. He penetrates, kicks to Patrick Ewing, and Patrick Ewing misses the open shot. Patrick Ewing is going to have to be the guy. He's the X factor, and right now he's going to have to be the guy down the stretch to make some shots, and he hasn't done so far.
Ewing 8 of 19 for the night. Oakley is back in. Buck Williams on the bench. Jason Caffey back on the floor for Chicago. Jordan guards Houston low post. Giles on the pick and roll gets it back to Ewing. Longley gets over to help to take him defensively. Now Kerr comes with a double. Awkward shot by Patrick Ewing.
And great defense by the Bulls again. They make the Knicks use clock. They force Patrick Ewing into a tough shot. That's exactly what they want the Knicks to do.
Kerr to Pippen. Johnson guards him. Runner, Longley, Johnson with a rebound. And again, New York a chance. Here's Oakley. Takes it off. No foul call.
And Oakley wanted to be bailed out. He tried to draw a foul. Tony Kukoc got out of the way, and no call. And it was a good no call because he didn't get fouled.
Now Ewing guards Kukoc. We've got 2:02 in regulation. Ewing goes for the steal. Jordan gets it back. 24-second violation. Since the last time out, Jordan 4 shots, Kukoc 2, and Pippen 1. The lead is 6. 1:51 remaining. Time has been called.
Nothing, just hanging around the house while LP's trying to do a painting here.
Talk to me, Blue. Come on, Green. Don't be so mean.
Yeah, that's what you want to call it.
Oh, Yellow, you my fellow.
Hold on one second.
Come on, Orange. Nothing rhymes with
So,
Orange.
what's the title of this painting?
It's a little something I like to call Undiscovered Genius of the Memphis Hardwood. Where you going? A little too sophisticated for you, huh?
1:52 to go in regulation, and time now to take a look at tonight's game reset. Brought to you by McDonald's. Both teams under 45%, and the rebounding edge only 1 for New York now. 3 players of 15 or better, but Jordan has 47. And here's an interesting point. The Knicks have shot only 5 free throws tonight. Let's go back and take a look at that awkward shot that Patrick Ewing took.
Yeah, and what I want you to watch here is right here, Steve Kerr. You're going to watch Steve Kerr come in and fake like he's going to double team Patrick Ewing, but he gets back, and that's what makes Patrick Ewing pick up the dribble. He has no one to pass it to, and the Bulls defense forced Patrick Ewing to take that shot.
In the 4th quarter tonight, Patrick Ewing scoreless. He's 0 for 3 from the field. Michael Jordan's season high is 50 set against Miami. He's at 47 right now. That 50 is high in the league, as befits the NBA's leading scorer. 1:53 to go, 84-78.
And Jeff Van Gundy has a premise, you know. He says the time Michael Jordan had 55 points, it came down to the last bucket for the Bulls to beat him. So when he does have big nights against them, the games are still close. He has 47, and it's only a 6-point game.
Underneath to Ewing. The double comes from Pippen. They kick it back out to Chris Giles, 10 on the shot clock. Giles off the dribble. In the lane, and Longley stole it. But then Charlie Ward gets it right back. Difficult shot. And a charge of blocking foul is called on Pippen.
He was there, but he was under the bucket, and if you're under the bucket, it's usually a foul. I tell you where the Knicks got lucky is after Chris Giles turned the ball over, he was all over Luke Longley, and the refs didn't make the call. You watch right here. I'm sorry, that's Charlie Ward who drives and loses. Oh, you can see it. He was under the basket. It was a good time. It was a good call by the refs. But right before that, Chris Childs lost the ball, and there was no call, and he was all over Luke Longley.
Only the 6th time tonight a Knick has been on the foul line shooting free throws. Charlie Ward for the season, 75% from the free throw line. His first attempt tonight. Still a 5-point game, but Ewing gets the roll off the glass, and it's a 3-point game at 84-81.
And what a big shot off an offensive rebound, something the Knicks don't do well, but with the lack of Dennis Rodman out on the court, that helps tremendously.
Ewing's first bucket in the 4th quarter, 1:10 to go. Jordan in the post over Houston.
Oh, golly. And they said he wasn't going to get the shots. He's gotten the shots, and he's fresh because for 3.5 quarters, he's taken easy shots most of this game.
Under a minute. Ewing over Longley. No. Jordan loses it to Longley. Charlie Ward gets it back. Childs off the dribble. Dishes right side. Ewing. No. It's going to be Oakley or Pippen.
And they're going to call a double foul, it looks like. I tell you again, Allen Houston was wide open when they got the ball back and didn't get the ball. That was Chris Childs' job to do that, and he didn't.
I didn't see Oakley that time, did you?
No, I didn't.
Pippen is arguing about it, but I think Oakley's got a beef.
Yeah, he does. I thought they were going to call a double foul, and they didn't.
The foul is on Oakley. 5-point game, 44.9 left in regulation. Houston picks up Jordan. Jordan with 49. Jordan now has 51. And he is screaming at Jeff Van Gundy.
And he's feeling it. He was not going to pass that ball. He had every intention of shooting it. Guys on the Bulls are running around. He never even looked. That was his shot all the way.
Phil Jackson told Dick Versace before the game in the locker room that Michael Jordan was upset with some comments Van Gundy had made because Jeff Van Gundy had said Jordan, with his friendships with other players around the league, lulls them into a false feeling of friendship and then strikes like a viper.
Well, he's a snake right now, I'll tell you that.
You feel that's the case, that sometimes guys want to be his friend a little too much?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I as a player, you don't want to talk to guys, and I think Michael Jordan does a great job of that. I think Isaiah Thomas did a great job. I think Magic Johnson did a great job. You lull guys into that little web of security that you're your friend. We're friends, and then you get them out on the court and you try to destroy them. And I think all the great players are very good at that. They know how not only to play the game, they know how to play the mental game. And I think Michael Jordan does that, and I think he does it very well.
Well, you know, Charles Barkley, I heard his comments Sunday on the NBC telecast. He took issue with that because that claim was made about him that he got too close to Michael, but you think it can be true?
Oh, I think it can be true. Charles Barkley, I will say this, he is close to Michael, but he comes out and plays his game. I think what a lot of guys do, they don't. They want to laugh with Jordan. He gives them that little sly smile, and while he's smiling, he has 53 points on him.
Well, interesting, because Dick Versace talked to Jackson, and Jackson said, watch him. He might go for 45 or 50 tonight. He's got 51.
Well, the one thing Jordan plays for now, he looks for things to play for. That gave him something to play for. Will Perdue told me before games, Michael scours the paper looking for edges, and obviously Jeff Van Gundy gave him the edge.
Well, they did not want him to shoot in the last 6 minutes of the game. He's had 7 shots in the last 5:36.
Yeah, but there's nothing they can do about it. He's taken the shots. He had no intentions of passing, and I still say for the first 3.5 quarters, he took a lot of shots. but he didn't take very difficult shots. And you can't give Michael Jordan easy shots or he'll kill you.
He is the only Bull to score in the last 11 minutes. Oakley chases it down. We're under 20 seconds. Ewing, Houston now, off the front edge. He'll get another one and take it for three and fills it up. But it's a 4-point game now with 11.6 left. Well, the first meeting of 4 regular season battles between these two. They don't play again until March in the Garden, then April 10th in the Garden, and then back here, the last game of the regular season on the 19th. Longley is fouled as he takes it strong to the basket with 6 seconds left.
And the Bulls come out of this with a victory, but I would say the Knicks have a moral victory. I don't really believe in moral victories when you, but I think the Knicks have as close to a moral victory as you can get because they played in the elite team, the best team in the NBA, on the road. They lost. They're going to lose. It's going to be a close loss, and that tells these guys, it might not be true, but it tells them, hey, we can play with the Chicago Bulls.
88-84, and for the 11th consecutive trip, including the playoffs, the Knicks will come up short. Longley at the line. Michael Jordan is out of the ball game with a season high of 51 points. 18 of 30, including in the fourth quarter. You ready for this? 12 of 14.
Yeah, and that's the guy you didn't want beating you down the stretch. The problem with going with that theory is you're going against the best player probably in NBA history.
At the buzzer, the basket goes, but here's a surprise. Michael Jordan has been selected as our Bud Light player of the game. Final score, 88-87. The basket at the buzzer did count. That cuts the margin to 1. But the New York Knicks fall to Chicago in the first of 4 games this year. They're 28-12. And let's check in with Dick Versace.
Mike, did they tug on Superman's cape today?
Well, I felt a good rhythm tonight offensively, and we didn't really have a great rhythm tonight, and times I just had to use my athletic ability and take one-on-one a lot of times, and I was able to make some big shots.
What was going on? I talked to Phil before the game, and he said Mike might get 45 or 50 tonight. How come he predicted that?
Well, I know we were coming off an embarrassing loss against Houston, and we were coming back facing a team that really has given us troubles over the last couple of years, and I just felt psyched up for the game, and I came in with a lot of motivation to get back on the winning track and play my heart out.
Yeah, I noticed on the last basket you took a hard look at the Knick bench.
I did.
Thanks, Mike. All right, back to Vernon, Doc.
Well, I'm glad my eyes didn't deceive me. I thought he took a hard look at the Knick bench.
Yeah, he did.
And then you had your little guy who was on your staff who became the Knicks coach after you, Jeff Van Gundy. He said, I conned the players, I befriended them, and then I attack them on the basketball court. Where did that come from? I just so happen to be a friendly guy. I get along with everybody, but at the same time, when the light comes on, I'm as competitive as anybody you know. So you guys, I must say thank you very much for giving me that motivation that I desperately needed.